Hey kids, Flexing Teacher Weber here. I hope you're having a good day. We continued our review of fractions today by looking at what I call some benchmark fractions. The fractions 1 over 4, 1 over 3, 1/2, 2 over 3, and 3 over 4 are considered benchmarks because we can easily recognize them and compare them with other numbers. So we spent some time talking about how these fractions would lie on a number line, starting at 0 and going to 1 whole. The midpoint is 1/2. And then we have 1/4 and 3/4. And notice how this number line is divided into 4 parts, right? This number line is divided into 1, 2, 3 sections. And so we've got 1/3 right here, 2/3 right here. We also talked a little bit about 1 whole. When we're talking about dividing a number line into 4 parts, 1 whole would be 4 out of 4. And when it's divided into 3 parts, 1 whole would be 3 parts out of 3. And then we played around with some number lines a bit. So this first number line that we look at in letter A is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts from 0 to 1 whole. So that means the missing fraction is 1/5, 2/5, 3/5. So the missing fraction of point A is 3/5. 3 out of 5. We also talked about how 1 whole, if we follow the pattern, 1 whole would be 5 out of 5. This next number line is divided into 7 parts, right? From 0 to 1 whole, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means the missing fraction from 0 to point B is 1 out of 7. And to keep that pattern going, when we got to 1 whole, we could also call that fraction 7/7. And the missing point in point B is 1 out of 7. Now, number 3, we had the fraction, the number line from 0 to 1 divided into 3 parts, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So the point at letter C is 2/3. And 1 whole, we could call 3 out of 3. Number 4 is divided into 4 equal parts. From 0 to 1, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could call letter D 1 over 4. We could call this point 2 over 4, or even better, same fraction, it's 1/2, right? We could call letter E 3 out of 4. And we could call 1 whole then 4 parts out of 4. So the missing fraction of point E is 3 out of 4. Number 5, we have to count how many sections this number line is divided into. It's divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. So that means from 0 to F, that would be 1 section out of 6. This would be 2 sections out of 6, 3 out of 6, or better, since it's the midpoint, 1/2, 4 out of 6, 5 out of 6, and 6 out of 6. So the missing fractions are 1 out of 6 and 5 out of 6. We've got one last number line here. Let's count how many sections it's divided into from 0 to 1. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sections, which means the very first section would be 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, or better, 5 out of 10 is also 1/2, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, and 1 whole we could call 10 out of 10. So the hope today was to give the kids a better understanding of where some fractions would lie on a number line and just the general size of fractions. So then what I had the kids to do for an assignment today, I had them do this paper independently, and this will be homework. So what I did is this says, for each exercise, circle the best choice, write the letter next to your answer in the box containing the exercise number. So what you have to do is it says circle the fraction that tells how much of the bar is shaded. Well, if you look at number 1, the rectangle represents 1 whole. And almost all of this rectangle is shaded, almost all of it. So we need to find the fraction that's closest to 1 whole. And I would say for sure, that would be letter T. 1 over 10 is really close to 0, and 4 over 9 is really close to halfway. So then what we could do if we wanted to do the puzzle is find number 1 down at the bottom of the page, and we'd put a letter T there. And then there was also questions like this. If you look at the second kind of question, it says circle the fraction that best matches the description given. We want a fraction close to 0. Well, 3 over 7 is pretty close to a half. 17 over 20 is close to a whole. 1 over 10 is a really small fraction. That's really close to 0. If we want to do the puzzle now, we have to find 10 and put an E there. So down at the bottom of the page, I see 10. I'm going to put an E there. So the goal of this assignment is to understand the relative size of fractions compared to 0, a half, or a whole. I hope that helps. That's all for now. Flexing Teacher Weber, out.